Hello everyone, it is me, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, in desperate need of shaving and getting an haircut. Jesus, this quarantine is killing me, boys. How's everyone doing? Welcome, this is the final broadcast for me for Clash Royale. It's going to be quite a journey. It has been quite a journey. I've had so much fun. We had 4 qualifiers, as most of you guys know. And every single one of these 4 qualifiers qualified 4 players for today, the finals, the absolute finals. And it's been my pleasure to be your caster for the English broadcast. Once again, I'm going to remind you that you can follow the broadcast from Nemos in Italian on his Twitch channel and from Revol Aymar from his YouTube channel in Spanish, of course. And this is going to be your English broadcast. Hope you guys had fun following with me the previous qualifiers. Today is where champions are built. We already have the clan set up. And yeah, maybe I can even show you the clan where everything is being organized. Dia is of course there. So we have 18 live on Wolka, Nemos, Revolver channels. So let's take a look. I believe I can show you. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a newbie about this sort of mechanics of spectating and commentating tournaments, but hopefully I don't mess everything up and Krijo will not be mad at me. So, oh, the lighting is not that great. The lighting is not that great. I have a lot of light behind my back that messes up everything. Give me a sec. This is not going to sound very professional, but I'm gonna close my windows. How am I called? Yeah. That should fix it. I had so much light in the back and you could barely see me. So there we are. Let's go right into the clan overview. So, maybe not. Okay, there we are. So, you guys should know by now the names of the 4 qualified players for each of the 4 qualifiers. But I'm gonna just recap for you real quick so you guys get to know the names of the finalists. So, for the first qualifier, we qualified Toeni, Mini Minter, Matteo, and Augustine. For the second one, we had Matteo getting the win, the lead of the bracket, Dia following him in the 2nd place, Seeking Master 3rd, and Yoshi at the 4th place. For the third qualifier, we had Bale, Gammon, Booze, and McShoot. Bale, which is a member of the Clash Pro team, if I remember correctly. And for the 4th and last qualifier, we had Black Mamba, Arty, Joel Mendo, and Spettacolo, which means spectacle in Italian, I believe. Yes, it does. I know Italian, I speak Italian. Ciao ragazzi, sono italiano. Se volete vedere il cast di Nemos in italiano è sul suo canale Twitch. Okay? I just reminded that Nemos is streaming in Italian on his Twitch channel. So, it's going to be 15 minutes before the start because we're going to have the official start of the tournament set at 16 Central European time, 4 p.m. if you will. And yeah, I'm really excited. I saw some very good games from pretty much every single one of the qualifiers I casted. The last one was kind of a more casual tournament, which is fine, which is fun to see. Because we had the first 3 qualifiers real packed with pro players, and the 4th one felt more like a community tournament with less big names, but of course high-level players nonetheless. I remember seeing some interesting decks from the 4 qualified players, except from Black Mamba, which won. He was playing a boring deck, Elixir Golem boring deck. Now he piloted it really well, and I was really happy to see it. You just saw my alarm clock going off because I needed a reminder in case I forgot to come off my stream that I had this broadcast to host at 16. So yeah, my alarm just went off. And since I'm pretty worried at this point that I didn't do everything I had in order not to be disturbed, Just let me take a look at my notifications and stuff. You don't want to get a phone call while you're streaming an important tournament like this. So yeah, the fourth qualifier was really interesting. Many of the players were, let's not say casual players. Of course, they were not casual players. They were playing really well, really high level. But there were not any pros, I believe, in the tournament. So it was more of a fun community tournament, as I said. And that made for some very weird decks to come out and really dominate, even though they're not exactly popular meta decks. So I remember seeing a weird version of Lockbait from Arty, who got second place. Really fun deck to comment and to just look at someone that's playing so well, such an off-meta deck for the moment. Was really an interesting experience for me. And I hope that he's going to stick with his deck and not be afraid of this new, how do I say, like this new field, this new 16. This is a top 16 bracket, so of course you're going to face only the best of the best. You don't have to grind 15 wins in 1 hour like you do in the qualifying tournaments. So it's going to be definitely a different metagame, and also we have a different format because we're going to have a best of 3 format. I'm gonna talk to you guys about the format, and also I'm gonna have and take a look at the challenge bracket, and not to lose myself. Okay, there it is, challenge.com, Inter Championship CR. Yep. So it's first game up is Miniminter versus Joel Mendo. If I remember correctly, Mendo was also playing something very weird. Not sure. We saw some players using the brand new Royal Hawks deck that Tommy got to #1 in the world, which is playing the Royal Delivery. It really is an interesting deck, and I remember that maybe 2 of the 4. It was not just a few players playing it. There were a lot of players. Maybe Joel and Spectac were both playing the new Royal Hawk Royal Delivery deck. Not sure. Well, Arty was playing Lockbait and Black Mamba was playing Elixir Golem. So I believe the meta is pretty much. It should be very predictable. It should be very predictable with less and less graveyards, because they kinda lose the matchup to Elixir Golem. We saw some very close games. It really depends on the deck list, but mostly I believe that Graveyard is not going to be as popular as Luxor in the chat thinks, because it really proved to be a kind of an easy win for Elixir Golem most of the times. And also from this new Royal Hog Royal Delivery perspective, it feels really easy to defend against these graveyards with the Royal Delivery and stuff. So I don't really know if we're gonna see Graveyard as much, but hopefully we're gonna see many off-meta decks to get some fun out of spectating them. So I hope that the players are going to be brave and not play the usual suspects when it comes to meta decks. So I have the bracket under control, and I'm gonna tell you guys about this format. So it's going to be best of 3, which is going to be very fun, and there's going to be bans as well, which makes for an interesting challenge for the players, because if the players have been scouting each other during the qualifiers, let's say Miniminter, who won the first qualifier, was watching the other qualifiers to get infos out of the decks the other players were playing. So maybe now he wants to ban Royal Delivery or Royal Hogs, so that the latest 4 players that qualified cannot play their best deck. This is going to be very interesting. So it's going to be best of 3 with 1 ban, which is going to be which I'm gonna tell you guys. Of course, I don't have any graphics to show the bans while I'm commentating, but I believe you guys can just remember those, since it's going to be 1 ban 4 player. And yeah, it's going to be 1 ban, best of 3 series, and it's going to be an elimination bracket. So yeah, you get 1 chance, I believe. No, that's not a double elimination bracket. Yeah, I can confirm. So it's going to be Toeni versus Spettacolo. as you can see from the chat here. You're she versus Bale. You are she, which is going to be called just she from our admins, I believe. Augustine versus Black Mamba. Matteo versus Max Shoot. Yeah, I'm just confronting the in-game bracket from the challenge one, with the challenge one. Inter versus Mendo, which I believe is going to be a game we're gonna commentate first, as Grigio, our beloved community manager and hero. Seeking Master versus Gammon, Matteo versus Arty, and Dia versus Booze, with many ooze. Okay, boys, should be 10 minutes before we get to see our first match, and that can be... yeah, I have confirmation that it's going to be Inter versus Mendo. So maybe... I'm really new to this. I don't know if I can go and watch the profiles from the play, but I believe that if I can, the players can, and maybe they're gonna do it. So let's just take a look at the profiles from Inter and Mendo. I believe that the pronunciation is Joel. I don't know. Let's just call him Joel, the English way, I believe. So let's take a look at the members. So Joel Mendo is rocking is... Oh, now I remember what he was playing. He wasn't playing the Royal Hog delivery deck. He was playing this anti-elixir golem, giant skeleton, night witch graveyard deck. If I remember correctly, I believe it was him playing some sort of deck like this. I don't know if this is the exact list. I do not remember, to be honest. But I remember for sure that in the last qualifier, one player was rocking this weird giant skeleton deck, which was clearly made to counter golem decks, and it really worked out. Every single time he went up against an elixir golem deck, I believe he even defeated Black Mamba, which won the last qualifier. So yeah, I believe it's going to be a pretty tough meta call from him. I don't know if this deck is overall really good, but it definitely works like a charm against the Elixir Golems deck and Golems deck in general. So maybe we're gonna see that same deck from him. Other than that, I cannot really tell you guys what the guys are going to play. I believe Dia was playing Golem, pure Golem, old style Golem. Let's see. I kind of remember, I believe I remember correctly. Let's take a look. If the guy is here. Yeah, it's not the same deck he has in this play, but I believe he was playing Golem. It was the first qualifier I commented, which was the second one overall. Then Bale, I believe Bale was playing... What am I doing? I believe Bale was playing the pretty traditional... yeah, it's not this deck. Maybe they changed it up just to make sure that the other players are not gonna see it, but... I believe Bale was playing Elixir Golem, Black Mamba was playing Elixir Golem. I didn't get to see the qualifier where Toeni, Miniminter, Yoshi, and Augustine qualified, because it was the first one, and we didn't get to set everything up for this English broadcast here on the Clash channel, so we started from the second one, and the second one was the one where Dia qualified, Matteo qualified, Seeking Master, and Yoshi. So no, sorry, the first one was Toeni, Miniminter, Matteo, and Augustine. So, yep. And I remember watching some of the Dia games where he was playing the traditional Golem deck, which really surprised me, because it's the conversation is always up about how unskilled and bad for the game Golem deck is, and I truly don't believe that. I seriously believe that it's just another take on beatdowns, where your defense is going to be really awkward, and in return you get very powerful pushes, and it's really a matter of allowing your opponent to waste elixir on damage to your towers. But at a certain point, even though they brought your, let's say, left tower to 1000 HP, then you're building up a massive push on your right lane. So that's really what the deck is about. I don't think it's overpowered. I just think it's kind of frustrating to be on an advantage and see that you're almost there getting your tower and on the other lane. a massive golem supported by Night Witch and even Electric Dragon sometimes. It's really tough, but I truly believe it's very balanced, and it's really interesting to see at high level play some golem players doing their best to bring the archetype in the spotlight. So Vlada, which I believe is going to be our tournament admin, it's about to say something to us. It's going to be 5 minutes before the start, I believe. So we're getting really close. Dia OP, yes he was. I love to see his golem deck. Let's see if he brings it again. Of course, I'm kind of rooting for the Clash guys. I would love to see Bale or Dia winning this tournament. Should be, regardless of who wins, a really fun tournament. And I wasn't expecting such an high level on every single one of the qualifiers I commented. So yeah, I wanted to hear from you guys in the chat. I was asking it even while I was casting the 4th qualifier. What do you think about having pro players in these open tournaments? It's a feedback that's really important to us, and we really want to know what do you guys from the community think about having pro players joining our tournaments. Of course, these tournaments are for you guys from the community, member of our clans, people who enjoy our content. So we really want to know from you guys if you would love to have pro players on your team, or which should like ban pro players from these open tournaments because it's unfair for you guys. I don't know. I come from card games, traditional card games like Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering, and in that community we really love to have the chance to confront ourselves with the pro players. But of course, card games, RNG is involved. You can get lucky and defeat the pro. In Clash Royale there's not the same exact thing, because it's really it's really a game where luck is almost irrelevant. I mean, the matchup, of course, it's based on luck, because maybe you want to play, let's say, Sparky decks and the opponent has Electric Dragon, Zap, and E-Wiz, of course. But I don't know, I really like watching, I would really love to have the chance to play against pro players. So I don't know. You tell me, guys, what you think. Not talking clan unless admin ask it from you. No more warnings. Yeah. You gotta keep the chat clean, of course. What if I play a game? I don't have time, I believe. Yeah, I don't have time. Hi, Princess. I don't have time, I believe. Yeah. I would love to show you how bad I am, but no way. Yeah, I believe this is one of the decks we were watching last qualifier. I believe I copied the Beatdown Giant Skeleton deck, and also, this is the Lockbait deck we were seeing, I believe, from Arju. I'm not sure, but I believe this is the deck we were watching from him. But it's not fair for me for me to show the deck, so I'll just chill. Let's say if Creedra has something to say to me. Oh, okay, we have confirmation of the bans for our first game. So it's going to be, as I said, Miniminter against Joel Mendo, and the bans are respectively Baby Dragon. So Miniminter is banning Baby Dragon, so Joel Mendo cannot play Baby Dragon, and Joel Mendo banned the Battle Healer, or as I call it, the Fairy Healer, and so Miniminter is not going to be able to play the Battle Healer. So yeah, this is clearly the healer, a very important support to golem decks. Maybe Joel Mendo did his homework and knew that Miniminter was going to play Elixir Golem and just ban the healer right away. While Baby Dragon is a much more versatile ban. It could mean that you want to protect, like, let's say, your hordes, your army units. Maybe you're playing some swarm decks in a way. Maybe you want to reduce the chances that your opponent interacts on air units in general. So let's see what Miniminter has in mind when banning the Baby Dragon. It's really a good versatile ban. Much more specific, the ban from Joel Mendo with the battle here. So I'm gonna take a look at the clan. Let's see if the guys are ready. I don't know, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the chat. I never done this, so I'm kinda nervous about messing this up. Look at me! against all of these monster players. I'm higher than Bale, than Miniminter, than Matteo, than Booze, than Nemos even. I played quite a while this season. I wanted to prepare for these broadcasts, so I did my homework and tried so many decks. But yeah, I don't have the highest cards level, so... Miniminter versus Joel, Bans, Baby Dragon, and Bottle Healer. Please start. Other please orders. Okay, let's go. Let's go and take a look. Where is Miniminter? How do I... What? Miniminter versus Joel, Spectac. Let's go, boys. We're in the action now. Let's make sure everything is ready. Yes, it is. Miniminter on the bottom of your screen with the blue towers. Goblin Barrel from Miniminter. Is it Lockbait? Is it not? Arrows ready for Joel Mendo, which is already laughing because, of course, good way to counter the barrel. Bats from Mendo. Could be anything still. Definitely Lockbait from Miniminter. I love to see Lockbait at high level. Snowball, very good Snowball, allowing only a couple hits from the Miner. And Sparky comes down. Is this giant Sparky with Miner? Why would he? The Sparky gets a hit on the Rascal, and yeah, no damage is going to be dealt to Joel Mendo towers. Wow, it could even be the Goblin Giant Sparky deck. It's Giant Skeleton from Joel Mendo. His specialty is beloved Giant Skeleton coming down onto this right lane. Not really the best matchup against Lockbait. You guys, I believe you guys would agree with me. Wall Breakers come down, so it's going to be some sort of minor Wall Breaker cycle deck with the chance of defending against great push with this Giant Skeleton. So Cannon Card comes down and doesn't get hit by the bombs, so it's almost attaching to the tower, but it's not the case. Princess comes down to defend against this Skeleton army, and it's a pretty even situation with Joel Mendo getting some extra damage on the right tower. Sparky is down. Let's see how Miniminter is going to defend against this very threatening Sparky. Miner comes down to be able to tank. Cannon Card in the middle is of course focusing this Miner, while the Goblins, the Spear Goblins, deal the damage that's required to remove that Sparky from the board. Really dangerous Sparky. Hunter is going to be able to one-shot the Cannon Card and block it at the bridge, not allowing it to deal any damage. Rascals and Giant Skeleton in the back. So of course now it's going to be kind of an easier game from this point on for Joel Mendo. I believe that for the way his deck is built, he has the most. He gets the most out of this double elixir now. Miner comes down to be able to tank for the army, and Wall Breakers are down, but the Snowball together with the Bandit dealing with this army. And the Miner though is allowed to hit a few times because the Bandit wasn't really attacking him. Good damage should come down, but no, the arrows are there to prevent the Goblin Barrel to deal any damage basically. Let's raise the volume. It's good to hear this music. Gives me anxiety but also hype. Spirit Goblins going on the right. I really don't know how can Miniminter come back from this at this point. He went for a very versatile deck, I believe, but Mendo definitely had a good matchup with the arrows there. Even though he didn't have Log, which is the main threat for the Lockbaits, of course. That's why they're called Lockbaits. They want to bait the Lock. Maybe that's too much though. I don't even know how the quality is going to sound like. Ahmed Dia on top, best CR player in Middle East. I see Dia as some supporters in the chat. I like that. I also support Dia. Cannon Card able to defend on the Skeleton. Wall Breakers maybe able to connect. No, the Snowball is there. Nice defense. What a close game. Actually, maybe, I don't know, Miniminter looks like he's gonna have a decent cycle now and plenty of options to go on offense. While Joel is stuck with that expensive Skeleton. I don't know. I don't really know at this point what can happen. I was pretty much sure that in double elixir Joel was gonna take the best of this matchup, but triple elixir maybe is what it takes. Minor Wall Breakers on the left. Princess able to deal damage to the Wall Breakers together with the Snowball. That's definitely a an elixir lost though. Good rocket following up on the barrel to kill that hunter. And suddenly Miniminter is in advantage. I cannot believe this. Miner comes down to remove the princess, and the cannon card is stopped at the bridge once again by the hunter. Barrel comes down, snowball immediately after to prevent any units to defend onto the goblins. Nice defensive rocket, isn't enough though, it's going to be pretty tough to defend. Spear goblin defending onto this miner. I believe that the skeleton has room to get closer to the tower, but it's not enough. Quite close. The army though, defending on the barrel. Wall breakers are going to go down, and both the wall breakers hit the tower for a very clutch win. For this game one, Jesus, I had no clue at a certain point who was in advantage. Very nice defense from Hoyle onto those barrels. Let's see if, when they go for game two, what they're going to play. 1-0, so I believe that the bans are going to stay for the rest of the series. I'm pretty sure of it, to be honest. I'm going to have the chat pop out so I can only read the chat without having an extra tab open. So yeah, let's take a look. I believe he's asking if they can go for the next game. It's a best of 3, so Hyol is 1-0 ahead. Hoyle, don't spam the chat, you're gonna get the admins hangry. It's really hard to be keeping the chat in order. Not necessarily. Spectacle, I believe, is still waiting for Toeni. Oh, they're going for it. Okay. Game two is in place. So, Miniminter, let's say if he sticks with the... Nope, definitely not. Looks like some sort of giant deck. I saw the Firecracker so far only being used to support giant decks of some sort. While it looks like Joel Mendo is sticking with his deck. Okay then, okay. It's going to be a fun matchup regardless. Show us the results of other games. I cannot, man. I cannot. I'm not going to be able to keep up with all the games. We're going to focus on one series per round. So we're playing round of 16 now, and we're going to focus on Miniminter and Joel while the other matches go on. And at round of 8, we're gonna have to focus on another matchup. And then for the semifinals and finals, we're going to watch every game, I believe. Oh, you just want to see the result. You can just go and take a look at the link. I believe the admins can link the challenge into the chat. If they don't, I will do it as soon as I'm done with spectating this game. Okay, guys? I can show you the link with the bracket. So be patient. 1 second. Let's keep on focusing on to this game. So, same deck for Mendo, as we said. And already a pretty decent damage lead. So Miniminter looks like he's playing some sort of maybe even Golem deck. This is not Graveyard, isn't it? Doesn't even look like Golem though. Maybe Luxor can provide some insights. I don't know. I'm speechless. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I have no clue what's going to be the win condition from Miniminter. Maybe Golem, maybe Giant. Maybe Sparky Giant. Maybe Graveyard, yeah. Looks like a Graveyard at this point. I believe that this bomb tower is pretty much... It's Royal Giant, of course. Yeah, of course. That's why I didn't have a clue of what was going on. Royal Giant. That's the first time I get to see this deck in this meta, ever. And already a lot of damage is being dealt to the tower, but now Giant Skeleton supported by Sparky. How can he even defend against this? Hunter dealing serious damage to the Ewiz. Ewiz, which is really, really good to defend against Sparky, of course. Lightning comes down. Miner can tank for these wall breakers and bats. Both the wall breakers are going to connect. Very low tower for Miniminter at this point. Only 370 HP. Just minor cycle could get the win for Joel. Desperate Royal Giant gets one-shotted by the Sparky. And now it's really a matter of just cycling the minor without overcommitting onto offense. There comes the minor. Good positioning from the bomb tower, which was pretty much a predict from Minter. Some damage still gets through. Of course, really hard to defend against minor wall breakers and even arrows to support them. Sparky is going to be able to one-shot. No, the lightning comes down. Let's be very careful to this lightning cycle from Minter though. Nice Valkyrie, but the wall breakers are going to come down. No, there's a barrel, and once again, the game is over with double wall breakers connecting onto the tower. Good job from Joel. He's stuck with this deck, and he got the 2-0 against Minter. Yes, that's what I can do. So Matteo got the first game against Arjul, and now they're playing their second game. Maybe I could take a look. Let's just do that. Why not? I mean, every single game I can spectate is something extra, which is very welcome from you guys, I believe. I appreciate your enthusiasm for this tournament so far. Healer, which means that's golem. No, that's graveyard. Pardon me, that's graveyard. That's where we Night Witches. Yeah. Matteo, which won the previous game, I believe, against Arjul. Or Arjul. Mortar deck from Arjul. We didn't get to see that in the qualifier. Very good defense onto this miner. Couple hits. Nothing too dangerous. But the Mortar is able to connect onto the tower right now. And together with the poison, maybe one cycle of poison could be enough. With one extra hit from the Mortar going down. No, it's not going to be enough, but maybe even just the snowball gets there. Nope, not quite, but the miner does indeed. So it's 1-1, I believe, for this Arjul versus Matteo matchup. The bracket so far looks like this. I'm gonna show you to you guys, as I promised. I believe I can. I mean, I'm gonna ask the admins if someone is moderating the chat on the YouTube channel. Please tell me if I can share the challenge bracket. Otherwise, I'm going to ask Krijo. Can I link the challenge in the chat? Okay, Matteo versus McShoot. Let's just watch games. Okay, let's just watch game 3 of Matteo versus Arjul. Arjul looks like he's sticking with his Mortar deck. So far, Miner and Bats. Good Snowball, allowing the Mini P.E.K.K.A. maybe. Nope. Goblins are there to kite. Snowball predicting something that was about to defend on these Goblins. Nothing was there though. Miner comes down. Musketeer in the back. Able to defend onto the miner. Only a couple of hits. And looks like could even be P.E.K.K.A. I don't know. Some sort of breach spam. Definitely Matteo changed his deck up. Let's see what the win condition is. So far, they have played very tight defense, not wanting to overcommit. Yeah, definitely same deck for Arjul, which is going to be Mortar. Poison comes down to deal with this Archer. Very good play. You get a lot of value out of this poison. You basically get to play the poison for free because you trade with the Archer. And also deal some damage to the tower. Very good play. Muskie and the Goblins are there to defend, while the P.E.K.K.A. is tanking for the Bats. Nothing comes out of this very weak offense so far. So, very tight defenses, as I said. Maybe that is due to the fact that Matteo is playing some really heavy win condition. I don't think that's Golem. Maybe Graveyard. Log? Maybe that's a Graveyard. Once again, Poison. This Poison is not going to be able to trade for the Archer though. Or is it? No, it's not. Maybe just one hit comes out of this Archer. Yes, it does. Giving a slight advantage to Matteo. Archer comes down once again. And that's a Giant deck, yeah. looked like either P.E.K.K.A or Giant as a win condition, because he definitely needed something to tank, something big to cover this Archer and really set a decent offensive win condition. So, ooh, the Snowball doesn't get to hit the Archer, which gets extra value, but the Mortar is there to clear it off. So at this point, every card has been played. And I was really surprised to see that the Giant not played earlier, but yeah, I mean, Giant is a really good way to push onto the Mortar and removing it from the board. To both, like, remove the win condition of your opponent. So I would say that Matteo went for a counter here. But I was very surprised to see Matteo holding on to his Giant and really not overcommitted before it was time to. Mortar comes down, there's a Giant in cycle, I believe. No Skeleton are going to tank for it, and the Bats are going to remove it. That's a very good counter to Mortar, actually. Giant is down. I believe that from this point on, it's Matteo's game any day. Those Bats, though, those Bats requiring the Snowball, not fully cleared. Some extra damage was dealt to the Giant thanks to those Bats, and also Valkyrie plus Muskie. Good poison, but the Archer is just outside of it, and the Mini P.E.K.K.A can deal with the Muskie and the Valkyrie, getting super high value. Very good log, allowing the Mini P.E.K.K.A maybe to go in and eat the tower. No, it doesn't. 3 times Elixir, that's definitely Matteo's favorite moment of the game, I believe. The Archer not turning to hit this Miner below 800, maybe, no, 830, while the Miner is still getting hits onto Arjul's tower. One distraction maybe down the middle, and then it's once again Giant time. No, directly the Giant. Snowball onto the Bats. Good job. The Miner is able to hit once, twice, almost 3 times. One log maybe coming out of this. Oh Jesus, is this seriously a comeback for the ages from Arjul? Very close game so far. The Snowball, the Miner, it's once, twice, 3 times, 15 HP. The Snowball, the poison comes down. Is it enough? No, the Archer hits for a Matteo comeback. This is what high-level Clash Royale looks like. That's exciting, man. And it's only round of 16. What are we going to see later on? Nice. He didn't want to play the Giant because he was waiting for the opponent Mortar to counter. Yeah, that's really disciplined from him, though. It could be like you could rush your plays, and that was what I was trying to highlight. Exactly that he was very patient with his Giant. He was waiting for the Mortar. He was waiting for favorable elixir trade. I mean, when you have the advantage of knowing exactly what your deck is, what your opponent's deck looks like, it still requires some discipline and really good decision making to have your cards matter. So nice job from Matteo getting the counter to work as intended, but very well played from Arjul, which didn't give an easy game to his opponent. Let's take a look if we're ready for the second round. I have confirmation that I can link the challenge into the chat, so you guys can take a look at how the other games are going. That is it. So we have all the game from the rounds of 16 over now. I believe that unfortunately Toeni didn't show up for his game, and Spettacolo got the 2-0 death win. The other games went in favor of Bale, who was against She. So Bale versus She ended with a 2-0 in favor of Bale. Augustine took down Black Mamba 2-0. Max Shoot defeated Matteo. And let's see how Dia was eliminated from Booze, actually, guys. I have to give you this very, very sad news. Dia was actually eliminated. I'll show you guys how the games went. They're banning their matchup, their bans for the matchups. Yeah, guys, Dia was actually eliminated. He lost 1-0 against Lavaloon. He was playing Goblin Giant Sparky against Booze, who was playing Lavaloon. And let's see how the other game went. This was a 3-1 in favor of Booze, who was playing Golem, while Dia played Lavaloon himself. And the first game was in favor of Dia, who won with Lavaloon against Breach Spam. That was very unfortunate. I was hoping to see Dia getting further into this tournament. Unfortunately. That's unfortunate. Anyway, we still have Bale to cheer. We from Clash Dia, Clash Egypt. Yes, I know, guys. I was supporting Dia myself. I was really rooting for him. But I mean, Bale is still in the tournament, so maybe we can go and take a look at this game. Let's see what... I don't have any indications of what games I should spectate, so let's just go with Clash Bale, of course. Maybe a member of the pro team. I'm pretty sure he's a member of Clash Pro Team. And this is going to be a Elixir Leaking Challenge. Probably both the players are playing something really heavy or have a heavy hand to start with, so they're going to chill until double elixir maybe. That will give me the time to take a look at what Krijo has to tell me maybe. No, he's just going, he's not going to mention the bans to me, and he's just giving me all the freedom I want. So iWiz versus Mega Minion. This is going to be basically a free iWiz for Spectacular, which was the more patient. Barbaro should be enough to defend against this push. This is not even a push, to be honest. But one hit from the iWiz is going to be dealt to the Knight. Knight against Night Witch. So this looks like either a Graveyard Mirror match, or maybe, that was about to say, a Golem deck from Spectacular. Sometimes we get to see the Night Witch. So yeah, it's probably going to be Graveyard for Bale. The Barbarian Hut kinda proved this to be a Graveyard deck versus Spectacular with his Golem deck. I don't think I got to see Spectacular play Golem on the qualifier. He got 4th place at, but it's going to be interesting. I love watching Golem, to be honest. P.E.K.K.A to defend onto this Graveyard. First Graveyard, and already very effective from Bale. Really picking the right time to push here. Finding a pretty awkward cycle to defend with from Spectacular. That's some huge damage. Now eWiz against iWiz, going to be a matchup, of course, in favor of the eWiz. But Golem Night Witch in the back. Barbarian Hut is down. I mean, maybe these Barbarian Huts are just going to be enough to defend onto these pushes and provide a huge elixir advantage for Bale. Nice poison comes down, getting 3 units. Barbarian Barrel down the middle to distract the mini P.E.K.K.A. But the mini P.E.K.K.A is now getting to hit the Barbarian Hut. Not what Bale was hoping for maybe. But the Golem is pretty much cleared completely before he gets to even touch the tower. Nice defense from Bale. And now there's room for a counter push with this Knight tanking for the Graveyard. Mega Minion, Baby Dragon. A lot of elixir spent into this push. And the damage is definitely worth it. Nice push from Bale. Now, once again, he's going to be very careful on defense, because the Barbarian Hut needs to be in cycle, and there it is. And then you can prevent the Golem from getting damaged onto your towers. And that's pretty much your defense. You're definitely going to get elixir advantage out of defending like 15 mana pushes that the Golem deck is gonna do. The good game comes down already. Yeah, I believe so too. I mean, Bale is playing spectacularly so far. Lightning is in time to get rid of the eWiz. Graveyard comes down. Poison. And I believe this is just going to be a matter of couple cycles of Graveyard Poison. Maybe even just Poison. No, not quite, but still very good plays from Bale so far. I was very impressed with his first few defenses. And the patience also. The patience in the beginning. Tornado gets the Knight closer just to make a hit. And the thumbs up just to show sportsmanlikeness. Like, what was that spectacle? He just wanted to get the game over quick. So, I don't have any indications from Creature, so let's just go and take a look at how these two players banned. So, let's see. Spectacle banned Magical Archer, and Bale banned the Healer. So, no Elixir Golem, basically, for Spectaculo. And that's kind of a cheeky play from Spectaculo. I mean, once Bale bans the Healer, you would think that Bale doesn't want to play against Golem decks, but in fact Bale was even ready to play against a traditional Golem deck with his graveyard. Nice plays from Bale. That's really showing off his experience at high level Clash Royale. Nice game. Augustine versus Max Shoot. We're just gonna have to wait for Bale to go up against the Spectaculo for game 2. These are the round of 8, guys, so already 8 players were eliminated. Bale just won. Revolver Marproster Music is on fire. Wow, it did. Thanks for telling me, Sama. He's on fire. I mean, he's playing really well, and also not just the execution of the decks, but like his mind is in the right place. Like his opponent is banning, even though he was banning the Healer, which is mainly used in the Elixir Golem deck, he was still playing something decent, something very good actually, against Golem decks in general with his graveyard deck. And he was even able to counter the very cheeky choice from Spectaculo of playing a traditional Golem deck with the Healer ban. So Bale is on fire. You said it right, Sama. So looks like Bale is sticking with his graveyard deck, and probably Spectaculo is going to do the same. Barbarian Hut of his own, Cannon Card, Night Witch. Could still be some very weird version of Elixir Golem without the Healer. I don't know. Most likely it's going to be graveyard versus graveyard. So never mind. I mentioned that I wasn't expecting as many graveyard decks today, but in the end, the deck is in such a good place. It's so good for this specific metagame that the players are going to rely on this graveyard deck for this top 16. Cannon Card comes down. Should be a couple hits onto this Barbarian Hut. Maybe 3, make it 4, make it 5 even. Make it 6 almost. A lot of value out of this Cannon Card. And Barbarian Hut of his own from Spectaculo. So yeah, that was a very favorable trade from Spectaculo perspective. Yeah, basically an entire Barbarian Hut of advantage now. Maybe, yeah, just 1.5 elixirs, 2. That was very good for Spectaculo, those Cannon Card hits. Golem! Golem! Golem comes down. Not a graveyard deck. I mean, maybe I'm getting confused, but I've seen some Night Witches being played in graveyard decks too. And from the aggressive playstyle of Spectaculo, I was tricked into thinking it was a graveyard mirror. But no, it's in fact Golem. Let's see if Bale pulls this off once again. Defending against these Golem decks. And pushing on the other side with the graveyard. Knight is tanking very well for this graveyard. Poison isn't enough to prevent all the damage from it. Golem comes down with the support of the Night Witch and 1 Barbarian. It's going to be very hard now for Bale to defend. Let's see if it makes it once again. Poison a little bit outside of the Golem range, it looks like. But the Barbarian Hut once again proving to be such a good way to defending from these Golem pushes. Mega Minion comes down, the Barbarian already pretty much done. The Cannon Card getting insane value in this matchup. Ewis, Baby Dragon, huge clash going down at the bridge. And looks like Bale is coming on top once again, being able to push with the Knight, the Graveyard, the Poison comes down in defense. But as you guys know, only the Poison is not enough to defend onto these Graveyards. Barbarian get rid of the E-Wiz, and Night Witch is pretty much going to be unsupported. Very good clutch defenses from Bale. I'm really impressed so far. Let's see if it makes it once again. Barbarian Hut comes down. Same exact thing. Fight at the bridge. Huge fight at the bridge. Tornado comes down now, and that could take Bale at surprise. I don't know. It looks like he's still in a very good spot defensively. Pretty much every single offensive unit is cleared off. The cannon cart is able to connect to the left tower, but huge push coming down from Bale now. Again, only the Poison to be able to defend. Okay, Baby Dragon and Tornado too, so maybe this defense is going to be fine for Spectacular. And look at the push on the, on the right lane too. Multitasking at his finest. I'm so impressed by Bale. He manages to get some damage through on the opposite on the opposite lane. Golem at the bridge. Barbarian Hut comes down. Baby Dragon gets a nit, and the Poison gets very good value, removing the Ewiz and most of the HPs out of this Barbarian Hut. Mega Minion is down to defend. Very good defense onto the cannon cart, onto the left lane. And the Golemites are not going to be able to deal basically any damage. Very good defense onto the cannon cart, stopping it at the bridge. And now both are... Oh, Jesus, they were very close. I was keeping an eye on the left lane, but I forgot that Bale was pushing really hard onto the right as soon as the Poison and Baby Dragon and Tornado came down to defend onto the push on the left. So very good job once again from Bale. He looks undefeatable. He really looks undefeatable. Nice job from Bale getting this 2-0, accessing the semi-finals for this tournament. Let's take a look at the other matches. So Bale wins 2-0 against Spectacular, Augustine against Max Shoot, and Gammon already won against Joel Mendo, who defeated 2-0 Mini Minter previously. So we already have one semi-final basically declared. Gammon versus Matteo. It's going to be our first semi-final, and Bale is waiting his opponent from Max Shoot versus Augustine. Matteo won against Booze 2-0, and Gammon won against Joel Mendo 2-0. So very good job. Very, very good so far from Matteo. I believe he had some very, very tough opponents. Booze, remember guys, Booze was the player that defeated Clash Dia at the in the first round. So yeah, Matteo avenging Dia already. Looks like many players are going to rock the Golem decks for this tournament, and I'm not quite sure. Max should probably playing Graveyard again. One card to be revealed from both players. So let's take a look at the chat while this game. I don't know if this is the first game from the Augustine versus Max Shoot series. Clash Egypt. Hi guys from Clash Egypt. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. Very active and a passionate community in Egypt. Barbaro comes down. Okay, double elixir now. Okay, yeah, that was Graveyard. That was Graveyard. And that's Slighting as the last card from Augustine. Once again, the Graveyard is not nearly enough to be defended with Poison. I mean, Poison isn't nearly enough to defend against Graveyard, I should say. Really tough to defend onto these Graveyards. You should have some swarmy units, but at the same time, Graveyard can just be stacked on top with the Poison, and all the swarmy units that are very good at defending against Graveyard gets destroyed. So really good win condition, really shining into this meta game. Golem gets kited by the tombstone. Very good job defending from Max Shoot. And now has elixir advantage, I believe, slightly. No, because the Night Witch is down and Golem gets played at the bridge. So one push after another from Augustine. How can Max Shoot get some relief and start going on offense himself? Tornado to focus all the units in 1 point so the Baby Dragon deals the most damage. Baby Dragon still out of range. The lightning gets to clear the Iwiz. So now there's room for the Baby Dragon to go onto the tower, which requires the Knight from Makshoot to defend onto the Baby Dragon. While Graveyard is coming down onto the right lane once again. Tornadoes everywhere. This is an impossible game to command properly, I believe. So many things going on my screen so far. So I believe that in the end the graveyard cycles with poison are going to be enough, because there's not enough elixir to build up a good push for the golem player. And the lightning isn't enough. Yeah, definitely not enough. Makshoot gets it. The tower was at only 150 HP for Augustine, and I see just now that Makshoot just won the 3rd game of the series, which makes it the 4th semi-finalist, and it will go up against Bale as soon as the bans are made. Nice job so far. I'm really enjoying the golem gameplays. I don't know, guys, what's wrong with me, but I mean, I enjoyed watching all of these golem players. I believe that watching some good players gives you another perspective on the archetype, and even though I really support, I'm a huge fan of Golem myself, even though I don't play the deck. I have a lot of respect for it, but I don't have an high level Golem to play the deck myself. I'm still glad that all the weaknesses of the archetype were exploited and like exposed by the very good players that go by the name of Bale and Makshoot. So yeah, Golem players pretty much lost every single series against Graveyard, I believe. So we'll stream them all the matches. So let's start with Bale versus Makshoot. Okay, that's very nice from the admins. So we get to see all the games from now on. We are not gonna miss a single game. So Bale versus Makshoot is going to be our first match of the semi-finals. Clash Bale is going to ban the healer, and Makshoot bans the graveyard straight up. I don't really understand this mechanic, because saying the ban first should give your opponent an advantage, but maybe not that much. I mean, when we ban, okay, sorry. So yeah, Matteo and Gammon are going to wait. I don't think I got to see a single game from Gammon, even though I was casting the qualifier where Gammon of course qualified for this tournament. I don't think I watched a single game from Gammon, so I'm really curious to see how he's doing, what deck he's playing. But Bale versus Makshoot is going to be our first match of the semi-finals. As I said, Makshoot banned Graveyard and Bale banned Healer. So yeah, Bale really committing to this healer ban. After Bale and Makshoot match. Yeah, of course. So we're going to be able to see all the games from now on. Really excited about it. So every single game is going to be broadcasted. I just want to say thank you to all of you guys tuning in, to all the Clash admins, staff in general that made this possible. It's really a tough time for everybody. Most of us have to stay quarantined. And really, like, this tournament was a really life-saving experience for a lot of guys, and allowing us to stay home safe, enjoying some high-level Clash Royale, playing the tournaments, watching the tournament was really a good experience, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Makshoot looks like his minor, looks like a minor wall breaker so far with cheap units. Let's see. Musky and Goblins. So Bale changed this deck up. Maybe this is a mirror matchup. Looks like it so far. Tornado comes down from Shoot, and no damage is going to be dealt at any of the towers. Minions down the middle. So yeah, could be minor. Could be just minor wall breaker cycle. Maybe Mekshut could be even playing Giant in this deck with the Archer. I don't know. Mini P.E.K.K.A comes down. It's going to meet the Archer at the bridge. Maybe the Archer gets to connect onto the tower for a couple hits. Yep. Happily accepts it. Valkyrie protecting the Archer, which is getting an insane value now. Muskie onto the Valkyrie, and the poison finishes off. The Muskie, good push from Mekshut. Really valuable push here. And minor wall breakers come down. Keep up the pressure, of course. Mega Knight. So yeah, standard minor wall breaker Mega Knight deck for Bale. This was one of the most popular decks throughout all the 4 qualifiers. Okay, so yeah, minor wall breaker cycle for Mekshut. Sort of a mirror match. Archer and Valkyrie for Mekshut for a cheaper cycle. While Bale is rocking the version with P.E.K.K.A and Mega Knight. Mini P.E.K.K.A and Mega Knight. Very interesting mirror matchup. I don't know if the different choices favor one or the other player so far. I don't really get to have an idea about it. First time I see this matchup myself. This Noble doesn't really do anything very good for Bale, so while the bomb tower is very effective overall. I don't know. I don't really know, guys. There was a very good push from Bale. Once again, you cannot ever count Bale out of a game. He's going to come back at a certain point. He looks undefeatable today. Magical Archer defending onto the Muskie. And Mini P.E.K.K.A once again. Meeting the Archer halfway at the bridge. Mega Knight comes down to tank for the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And now Muskie supporting those big guys. Magical Archer getting some hits. Poison comes down. Not enough to bring the Mini P.E.K.K.A down though. Mega Knight jumps in. Minor to get some damage onto those goblins defending. Looks like a huge swarm on offense for Bale, which of course takes the game. What a player! I'm speechless, guys. I mean, I wouldn't have words in Italian, which is my mother tongue, my main language. How can I even try to describe what I'm seeing in English? Unbelievable plays from Bale. It looked like he was getting behind in the early stages of the game in a way that he couldn't come back. And you'd get distracted 1 second, and suddenly both the towers for Mekshut were like below 1200 HPs. How does he do that? Mega Knight, wall breakers, not mirror. What would you say, guys? It's his favored between the two different minor wall breakers deck lists. Do you think one or the other had a huge advantage? I believe it was slightly favored for Mekshut, but I don't know. Mainly because the Snowball didn't really have any place in the matchup, while the Bomb Tower was very good. So yeah, although the Mini P.E.K.K.A was very good against the Archer and the Valkyrie, so yeah, I don't really know. Maybe in the end, Mini P.E.K.K.A was a key unit for Bale to have a favorable matchup. What do you guys think? Anyway, same deck for Bale, it looks like. While Shoot changes up his deck, finally a Lumberjack. We didn't get to see one. Not even in the qualifiers, I believe. Yeah, maybe one of the... I saw so many games during the qualifiers, like 1 hour of non-stop spectating games, so it's really hard for me to remember. But yeah, let's just say that Lumberjack wasn't that popular. Might be Balloon. Kind of looks like a Balloon deck so far, with the Flying Machine, the Baby Dragon, the Bats, the Skelly Army to deal with huge units on the ground. Yeah, could be even could it even be Lavaloon? Lumberjack comes down, a lot of damage onto this giant, which is going to be allowed to hit a lot of times. Mini P.E.K.K.A almost dealing the killing blow to the tower, but the Magical Archer brings it down to 8 HP. And at this point, if you can, you don't want to activate the King's Tower, so you go push other lane. And so it does, bringing the other tower too at 1600. What a massacre. Oh, actually Bale was changing up his deck a lot. It's a giant magical archer deck now. Very good indeed. The army is going to be able to deal with this giant, but not before he connects once. So Lava Hound finally down, revealing the win condition for McShoot. But I believe the game is already very compromised. Both the towers are getting low. The cloning wasn't really timed correctly. Don't you want to clone the pups? I don't know. It might be a choice depending on the fact the archer was down. I don't know. You can pretty much do the same exact thing, like cloning the Lava Hound just before it pops, right? Same exact thing. But yeah, the timing was kind of off for McShoot, and this allows Bale to go easily to answer this push, and without a single tower in range of being demolished by these arrows, the game ends up being a 2-0 for Bale. So impressive. So impressive. Such a performance for Bale. I'm really glad that Bale is sort of revenging Dia. Nice stuff. GG, says Bale. Indeed. McShoot instantly leaves the clan. And Revolimar drops the emote. Nice job, Bale. Nice job. Really impressive stuff. Now we're going to get to see Gammon finally. We saw Matteo playing. There is Dia. How you doing, man? I didn't get to see your games. Do you have any comments on your games? I'm really curious to have your perspective on your games, how they went, etc. Let me know. Matteo is going to ban Baby D, while Gammon is going to ban Healer. You can start. I'm very curious to see Gammon finally. I have no idea what Gammon is playing because I don't think I get to cast a single game from him even during the qualifiers. Let's see. Matteo looking for a 1v1 battle. I'm going to try and see if the stream is okay. I don't want to mess everything up, but I haven't been seeing the stream for half an hour almost. Looks like everyone is doing okay. I appreciate you guys being here and tuning in for this tournament. I'm very not that well positioned with the webcam, pardon me. Let's try and make it a little bit better. Hiding that horrifying tube I have coming out of my walls. Looks like an horror movie, really. Oh, I'm sorry. I was missing the game. So the guys just started. Fortunately, we didn't miss anything. Barbarrel for Gammon. Barbarrel for Matteo. It's really hard to pronounce. Barbarrel. Mixing up barbarian and barrel. Barbarrel. It's even harder if you don't know English very well. So, Firecracker activating the tower thanks to that smart positioning of the mini P.E.K.K.A. from Matteo. I didn't get to see yet why would the Firecracker be a good unit. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't get a single game where I saw Firecracker doing great things and convincing me it is a good card. So maybe just me being biased, but I don't really like the Firecracker so far. So once again, Matteo, I saw some games from him during the qualifiers. That's a Firecracker that's getting a lot of value, for example, with that knockback allowing it to get out of Mega Knight range, but still the damage isn't there. I don't know. I don't really like the unit, but who am I? I'm a complete noob, guys. So Matteo is rocking the same deck he was playing during the qualifiers, if I remember correctly, which is the Mega Knight Minor Wall Breakers deck. While Gammon playing the Royal Giant deck, we got to see maybe Bale was playing it. I don't know. Maybe it was Joel Mendo against Mini Minter playing it. Maybe it was Mini Minter playing it. I don't remember. I only remember that we got to see the deck already today. So Dia, you're not gonna tell me how your games went. We didn't see your games. I was really sad to see you eliminated so soon, but I would really love 1 HP. Jesus, I would love to hear from you. What do you think about your games? Was it difficult matchups? I don't know. Did you make mistakes? How did it happen, man? The dabbing emote in the chat, meanwhile. Is this Royal Giant going to be enough for Gammon to tie the game? One hit is not enough, the Earthquake is not enough. And so, with 200 HPs left on the right tower, Matteo takes the win. 1-0 in favor of Matteo. Bale, guys, I want you guys to remember that Bale is already in the finals, is playing this tournament with a perfect score of 6 wins and 0 losses. He 2-0'd She, he 2-0'd Spectac, he 2-0'd Max Shoot, and now he's in the finals. We're waiting for the second finalist, which is going to be the winner between Gammon and Matteo. Matteo up 1-0 so far. Yeah, Dia is not gonna answer to me. Either he's not listening or he doesn't want me to know. This emote is so cool. It's so beautiful. I want it so bad. Okay, let's wait for game 2 now. And there they are. Game 2 between Gammon and Matteo is up. Let's see if Matteo sticks with this very strong Mega Knight Wall Breakers deck that a lot of players are using. Okay, from the Elixir leak, I said okay, and Google, of course, doesn't understand the difference between me just saying randomly or actually meaning to activate the assistant. Come on. Okay. Hello guys, we're watching the second game from the second semi-final. It's going to be Matteo versus Gammon. Matteo is already up one game. Hola hermano, yo soy italiano, ma hablas inglés. So Sparky comes down, looks like a giant Sparky Nightwitch deck, while Matteo is playing the same, I believe it's the same giant deck that that Bale played once today. I'm not really sure though. And I mean, it could be really interesting for Gammon. I don't know, the Sparky comes really helpful in defending the huge clusters of units that come with defending against the Giants. Sono italiano ragazzi, sono italiano ragazzi. Il casting italiano però lo fa Nemo sul suo canale Twitch, io mi occupo di quello inglese qua sul canale Clash. I just said that yes, I'm Italian and Nemos is covering the Italian casting. I'll be covering the English broadcast for the rest of the tournament, and just as I did for the qualifiers. Giant comes down on the left, which means we're going to see support units maybe. Nope. Yes, the bats come down eventually, while the Sparky is able to target that Magical Archer in case it doesn't get defended. The Skellies are there to defend and cover for the Magical Archer so that the Sparky gets distracted. Maybe the Sparky won't be in time dealing the killing blow to the Archer. Yes, it is. But huge push coming down onto the left. Snowball to separate units to slow him down. Tornado comes down, and now it's really a word of pain for Matteo. The push is there. Not so much damage coming down onto the tower though. Good defense with the bats. It looked like Matteo was in a world of pain. It was really going to be a matter of pushing a tower of his own, because that left tower looked like he was already dead, but no. Nice defense in the end. Giant Skeleton weird choices all the way from Gammon. Not very off meta player so far. It showed to be. So Gen Skeleton now, the huge push coming down on the left. I don't really know how Matteo can defend it. He already dropped the GG. Maybe that's a sign that he doesn't have an idea himself on how to defend this, but ended up making it. Pretty good defense once again. Even keeps himself at an advantage, like 60 HP advantage, but opposite lane push. Sparky comes down to defend, but the Night Witch is going to be pretty much wasted on the left lane because of this very wise choice from Matteo of pushing onto the right lane, and the Miner getting some damage. Night Witch connects, and Skeleton to tank for the Sparky. I mean, even though Matteo is playing brilliantly and choosing his pushes very well, I believe Matteo gave up. Yes, so it is. It was very close. It got to be a very close game for Matteo, but matchup was very hard in the end, and he surrendered. 1-1. We're gonna have a third game. Third and final game for the second semi-final. Bale waiting in the finals for the winner between Gammon and Matteo. We're going to have what in Italian we call La Bella, which means literally the beautiful, but doesn't mean... I don't really know why that's an expression in Italian, but yeah. When two players are tied and they have to play one more game to decide who wins, we call it literally the beauty. Why do we do that? It makes no sense now that I translate it in English. Yeah, La Bella between Gammon and Matteo. The final match, the tiebreaker. Yeah, that's the translation. Let's go and check the bans again. Will I make it on time? I don't think so. I mean, who cares? We're not gonna see the cards anyway. Okay, Matteo is asking for 1 second. So let's see when we ban. Where did they ban? Okay, so Baby D from Matteo, healer for Gammon. Yeah, now I do remember. Lucas Stefani is laughing because he's Italian. He knows what I mean. It makes no sense, but we say that. Why is that? Now I wanna the beautiful one. Yeah, it kind of translates into the beautiful. It makes no sense though. I wanna understand the origins of this expression. I will Google it as soon as the broadcast is over. So if someone from the chat wants to give me heads up of why the hell do we say the beautiful one to say tiebreaker in Italian, I'd be very thankful. But hey, go, says Rebel Aymar. He wants to see this beautiful one, this final game for the semi-final. Now I have to remove it from my mind. Otherwise I'm gonna say it forever. The beautiful one. What is Revolt playing? This is, I believe, some Smurf account. Maybe some free-to-play account. So, I don't really know what they go from here. I mean, it was very close games. Matteo is playing the deck brilliantly. Like, definitely a Bale level of Mega Knight World Breakers deck, but this counter deck from Gammon was very smart. Okay, they're going for it. Jesus. Am I late? Yes, I'm late. Jesus. Okay, so Lava Hound for Matteo. Really curious choice. And Gammon is changing everything up once again. Hog Psycho, looks like. Why? It looked like both the players had very clearly an idea of what to play. And now everything is changed. We're seeing Lava Hound from Matteo and Hog Cycle from Gammon. What is this? Huge advantage coming down from Gammon, the Royal Hawk players so far. I'm really surprised to see. I don't understand the mind games behind this. So Matteo wanted to change things up and probably build something heavier to punish the Skeleton King, as I call him. Because it used to be one of my favorite cards, so I call him the Skeleton King. The Giant Skeleton, that's what I mean. And So Gammon went for a fast cycle deck? I don't know. What's the idea behind it? Really glad to see the Hog Rider, regardless. But Lava Hound looks like he's going to be able to take down the tower with the Inferno Dragon dealing some damage onto the left too. Here goes the Hog Rider. One hit isn't enough to bring the tower down, and meanwhile, looks like Gammon actually managed to defend onto this Lava Hound. The pups are there, but the Golem defends, and so basically no damage dealt to the tower. Very close matchup so far. The Earthquake for Gammon is going to be enough to bring the right tower down, so he has the Log too. Log gets the tower. Does Gammon make it on time? One more hit from the Miner is enough to tie the game, and now we are on overtime. Hog Rider is already down, dealing damage to the Goblin Cage. He also survives to deal one extra hit onto the tower, making it a 700 damage advantage. While, take a look at the King Tower though. King Tower brought down to 1700. The Firecracker doesn't get to splash any damage, but huge value nonetheless. Hog Rider, Earthquake pretty much immediately. Fireball to try and defend. Maybe when it comes down. No, it doesn't. Actually, this Firecracker is proving to be super valuable this time. I'm so sorry, Firecracker. I didn't give you the respect you deserve. This Firecracker has been like down for a minute now and brings Gammon to the finals. I guess the pronunciation for Matea is with Spanish J, so Mateja? Matia? I don't really know what the Spanish Yoda is, Cole. Don't make me look stupid in front of everyone. I'm already struggling with casting in English. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me, man? So, like, type it as it should be pronounced. I mean, I believe there's not a way, because you would have done that already. Anyway, Gammon, Hog Rider deck. First time I get to see a Hog Rider deck in the, even like in the qualifiers, I believe. Really happy it happened here. So Matea leaves the clan. And now we're ready for the super finals. The end of the journey. Two players. A dominating player, very on fire. Just coming back from the Revole Mars tournament win. Clash Bale, member of the pro team. Up against Gammon, the off-meta king for this tournament. I think we say Bella for the tiebreaker because in the football is the most important match. Yeah, so saying beautiful is just another way of saying the meaningful one. I get it. I sort of get it. So 1 minute of break. I really don't know what to expect. Especially from the bans. I mean, Bale is proving to be very hard to predict. He's playing a huge variety of decks very well. There's not a single ban that can stop Bale from having from playing a deck he's comfortable with, because he's comfortable with everything so far. So I believe that Gammon should go for pardon me, a good versatile ban. Let's say Miner, let's say Poison, maybe something like that. Noted the final started. What should we watch? Just go for a double screen setup, Sama. That's going to be a tough choice. I hope you guys get to see both, because this game is going to be definitely interesting. Bale, which is dominating meta decks, but playing them all so beautifully. Not a single deck he's playing in this tournament shows a lack of experience with it. He looks like a monster in every single deck he plays. On the other hand, Gammon, which is very impressive in picking the right decks. Okay, so Mega Knight is banned from Gammon and Tornado is banned by Bale. Whoa, oh, okay. That's a weird choice. Bale changes up his ban. It was banning healer all the time so far, and Gammon went and banned the Mega Knight because he doesn't want to face the Mega Knight Wallbreakers minor deck from Bale. Dark Prince against Magical Archer. Looks like bridge spam so far for Gammon with the Bandit and the Magical Archer. Could be Giant Double Prince. Could be even Lockbait. I've seen some Dark Prince Lockbait decks. Let's see. Night Witch. Could be P.E.K.K.A. So P.E.K.K.A. or Giant even. Sparky comes down from Bale. So could be the Goblin Giant Sparky deck. Healer comes down from Gammon. Is this Elixir Golem? Is this Elixir Golem? I don't know. First time Ram Rider. No, it's Bridge Spam. This deck is such a weird Bridge Spam archetype. Like it ends up generating huge clusters of units, and maybe the Sparky can do some great things defending against these, as I call them, clusters. Huge groups of units. Goblin Giant comes down, he's going to be able to attack the tower, but the mini P.E.K.K.A. doesn't reach the Archer. Still, pretty good damage coming out of this Goblin Giant, and minions are still there, maybe able to deal some extra damage together with the Spear Goblins. A lot of damage actually, could be even enough to bring it down to Ashes. No, still alive. It doesn't get obliterated, but the damage coming out of this push. It didn't even look like something so dangerous, but the minions together with the Spear Goblins could even be... No, I believe the last card for Gammon is a support spell, like arrows. I said like arrows, Google. I didn't say anything else. Please stop it. I literally said like arrows. How did he get activated? Sorry. Bale again in the second tower and holding on to his left tower pretty easily. 20 seconds. Definitely not enough time to come back from this very tight situation. 15 seconds, 13 seconds. Definitely not enough for Gammon unless he's got 3 rockets and enough mana, enough elixir to play them all. It's over, and Bale is still undefeated, and it's not over yet because, of course, even the finals are going to be played. Wait, I'm so stupid. I thought even the other tower was down. I got it I managed to ignore the fact that a whole tower is there. Google threw me off. I'm getting distracted by this Google Assistant. Pardon me. There's a whole tower to bring down still from Bale. And actually, Bale is down to only 700 HPs. Maybe I even jinxed it for Bale. This is not over at all. Bale needs to make a huge comeback to destroy the right tower, when the left one tower for Bale is very low HP at this point. The Rage comes down as the last card for Bale. Maybe this is enough to go for the deadly push. Another hit could come down from the Sparky, and so it is. Extra value for this Sparky that defeats even the Bandit. Okay, that's definitely something that brings Bale back in the game, but 400 HP, not much. Game could be over any moment now, only with the Fireball cycle. The Rage comes down, Mini P.E.K.K.A. is able to connect and destroy the Night Witch. Not enough damage is being dealt to this King's Tower though, and now the Bandit. There's a lot of elixir on defense for Bale though. I swear, if Bale wins this game, I don't know what I would do. I even automatically considered him to already be the winner for this game, but no. He basically gives up the tower to try a desperate push on the right. Gammon, the only player so far taking a game from Bale. Keep that in mind. That's quite a task. Bale was entering these finals with a 6 wins and 0 losses score, and Gammon was the first player to get a win from him. Very impressive stuff. all the Gammon, all the decks that Gammon played were very, very off meta, very weird decks, very peculiar, and he managed to play them so well. It's really a fight between perfect execution of the meta decks and really wide creativity, wide pool of decks at disposal. So yeah, basically all we could ask for the finals of this tournament, the age-old fight between meta decks and off-meta counters, peculiar decks made with the purpose of defeating the meta decks. So one game that could mean the end of this tournament. If Gammon gets another win, the dream is over for Bale. Okay, looks like it could be some Hawk Cycle deck once again by the fact that the Fire Spirit gets played and connects to the tower. Cheap damage already struck the tower. Could this be could this be Expo? Is this Expo coming from Gammon? This is traditional Expo. Are you serious? You're going up against Bale in the finals, changing decks up just because, and play Expo. Giant is there for Bale already, we can tell that's going to be a very tough matchup for the Expo player. How did Bale see this coming? So, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. Show us the vocabulary. Why would I? What do you mean? So almost activation of the King Tower on the middle, thanks to the Ice Golem getting to distract the magical archer. And now that's a face of study from both players. I mean, of course, Bale is going to play very reactive, based on when Gammon commits the Expo, because the Giant is going to be pretty much the key to victory for Bale. I mean, every single time we get to see the Expo deployed, a Giant could come down from Bale if the Expo is played, especially if the Expo is played offensively. Like, this was a very defensive Expo, so Bale stuck to his plan and didn't get to play the Giant just yet. Magical Archer is connecting to the tower. Bale has a huge advantage so far. This choice from Gammon could be the beginning of his end. I still don't understand why would he switch to Expo when I believe not a single game that Bale played today, and even in the qualifiers, he played something vulnerable to Expo. Like, all the decks Bale played were with Giants and Mega Knights. Of course, Mega Knight is banned by Gammon for these finals, but still, the playstyle. Bale is using all of these very meta traditional decks with huge tanky units up front, support of the best units like Magical Archer, Night Witch and stuff. And yeah, I don't really understand why would he go for Expo, but hey, maybe he had something in mind. Maybe the mind game from Gammon was maybe he had something very specific in mind. Yeah. So log is going to be enough for Bale to finish the game, even zap, whatever, the hit from the Magical Archer, and it's back 1-1. Of course, Bale couldn't get 2-0'd in the finals after going undefeated up to this point. So 1-1, we're gonna have once again the beautiful one, as we say it in Italian, the last game, the third game for this best of 3 series, which is going to assign this first Inter Clash Royale championship title to one player between Clash Bale and Gammon. So I'm really curious to see what the decks are going to look like at this point. Go Puppies. All the players involved in this top 16 were so good, so creative with their decks, such flawless execution. Almost every single game I watched, I couldn't tell a single mispositioning. So everyone here is being very focused and very determined to get the win. I hope we get to see a very balanced last match, not a very as they say, polarized matchup, something that really can end in anyone's favor, just to make it exciting until the last second. For this last game, let's see what these guys are up to. Elixirs are being licked. Minor for Gammon and Barbaro for Bale. Is it the graveyard? Is it the graveyard for Bale? Wall breakers. So Gammon decides to go for what Bale has been playing so far the most. Bale accepting this. Is it? I hope he didn't disconnect. Please don't tell me this is. Okay, so no, it was leaking defensively. Okay, for a moment I was very scared because it's very peculiar for Bale to leak so much elixir. So even if the deck is really slow with heavy units, I believe that the deployment against that magical archer was a little late, but maybe the cycle didn't allow him to play anything else. So okay, Bale is there. Bale is not disconnected or anything. Yeah, looks like either graveyard or golem. So far the deck looks like it could be any of the two win conditions. Most likely graveyard from Bale. And even looking at the deck list, yeah. Most likely graveyard. So, anyways, maybe one of the wall breakers gets to hit. No, it doesn't. Gammon is looking really solid so far. Not a single tower below 2000 HPs, while Bale has one already under the 1000 HP mark. I don't really know, guys. I mean, Bale made so many epic comebacks so far, but it looks really grim so far. If Bale comes back even in the finals and he doesn't just win, but he wins with the epic comeback, that would be such a Bale thing to end this tournament with. Okay, so there's a pretty consistent elixir advantage now. The Barbarian Hut is still down. The second one comes down. And still, there's elixir advantage. So, I don't know. This could be the beginning of the comeback for Bale. The tower is below 500, almost below 500 HPs. Royal Hogs on the other lane. That's the win condition. That's why the Earthquake is there instead of the Poison. A lot of damage coming down, and also the huge push coming down onto the right lane. Is he swagging on his opponent? Did he calculate this? Look at the damage going down. Now there's advantage for Bale. The Earthquake comes down. The Barbarians are there. The Archer can get the final hit. No, it doesn't. Royal Hogs are there though. There's nothing to defend with. The Valkyrie gets thrown down, but it's not enough. Bale gets the comeback. Of course he gets the comeback in the finals. Is he playing with his opponents? Is he toying with them? Did he want to give some hope to Gammon before swagging on him and finish the game as soon as he was ready to do so? Jesus! Bale, what a performance, man. I want to see more games from him. I don't want this tournament to be over already. My God, such a good tournament. Such a good top 16 for Bale. Only one game conceded to his opponents. We don't go to game 5. Right? This is it. No one is saying anything. Everyone is baffled. No one knows what to say. This is it, guys. Bale won. Is this a best of 5 and no one told me? Come on. No one told me. They forgot about me. No one said this would be a best of 5. I thought this was a best of 3 just like other games. It's a 2-1 in Bale favors, right? I'm not tripping. They're going to game 5. This is game 4. Please, someone. The final will be BO5. Okay. Thanks for not reminding me, Krijo. making me look like a... Anyway, we go to game 5 maybe. This is game 4, so it's going to be a BO5 for the absolute grand finals. I had no clue, and no one was saying a thing. That was confusing. Hope I didn't jinx it for Bale, declaring him the winner too soon. So it looks like Bale is playing his Giant deck this time, while Gammon could be even playing a Golem deck. Judging by the presence of that, maybe Elixir Golem? Judging by the presence of the Healer and the Night Witch. Could be either Elixir Golem or traditional Golem. Mini P.E.K.K.A. Super good at dealing with this Healer. The weirdest thing would be if I declared Bale the winner too soon and now he ends up losing. Imagine that. I imagine my career in broadcasting Clash Royale competitive games would be over already. If that's the case, so long and goodbye, my friends. It's been a pleasure. I'm not casting another game of Clash Royale ever. Anyway, Bale, solid defense, getting some damage with the miner. It cannot be playing the MK because it was banned, so no Mega Knight for Bale. I believe this is Giant. It looks like the same exact deck that Bale played against the X-Bow from Gammon, if I remember correctly. Miner once again. Good positioning for the Mega Minion, but still, a couple hits come down. Barbarrel gets to hit onto the Archer. Good positioning from the Archer in the pocket. And now the Archer is able to push, so he gets support from the Miner and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A. perfectly positioned to be very effective against the Healer. Free trade for this Mini P.E.K.K.A. very good. Bats not able to deal any damage, basically. Mega Minion, same thing. Defended correctly by Bale. And now there's a huge swarm coming down the right lane for Gammon. With the Ewiz, the Healer, the Night Witch, the Mega Minion. Defending this huge push could mean that Bale gets to go on offense and really turn this game around. The freeze! Is this the 2015 deck, Graveyard Freeze? What a play! Like 1500 HPs gone just like that. Like Thanos snapped his fingers. Good defense on this Archer, not allowing the Archer to hit the Giant and the tower behind it. Again, the P.E.K.K.A. dealing some serious damage, and the freeze is forced defensively. Now, let's be very careful on the right tower, Bale. Huge snowball coming down, allowing the a perfect defense again. Very low HP, that's what Bale likes to do. 3 Elixir. The push comes down as soon as Gammon overcommits on defense with the Magical Archer and the Night Witch. And now Graveyard play defensively to try and defend onto this Giant push. Huge damage coming down. The snowball is kind of good, not perfect. Could have hit more skeletons. Now we need a very good defense from Bale. The Giant comes down to distract. Doesn't matter if the left tower is hit by the Ewiz. The Archer cannot hit the tower. Good work from the defensive Archer. Graveyard comes down, and I believe this is over. I believe Gammon got this. 140 HP, Barbarrel comes down, the freeze comes down. And so it's 2-2. We're going to game 5. I'm so scared, please. It's not my fault. I wasn't told the finals would be best of 5. Sorry if I declared Bale the winner already. I didn't mean to jinx it for him. I didn't want him to lose. I'm actually rooting for Bale. I'm sorry, Gammon, but I mean, of course I'm gonna root for the Clash Pro player, right? Let's hope we get a final game that's as exciting as Game 4 was, as Game 3 was, pardon me, with that epic comeback from Bale. This game right here. Let's hope we get to see a final game that's as exciting as Game 3. Bale up against Gammon for the final game of this Inter Clash Royale Championships. Miner is down, Iwez to defend. Maybe Bale is once again playing the Giant deck, I don't know. Or is he going back to the Royal Hog that allowed him to take Game 3? Let's find out together, guys. In the meantime, you can watch the bracket. I'm gonna link it to the chat so you can see how the whole top 16 went. This is the final game. No matter how it ends, this is the final game. Royal Delivery, so could be either an Elixir Golem variant. Jesus, this damage coming from the P.E.K.K.A. Bale already scoring a huge push. Royal Delivery wasn't enough. We didn't get to see this deck from Gammon just yet. So this is the first time I see this deck specifically from Gammon. And I'm not quite sure what's the win condition going to be. You see often Royal Hogs with the Royal Delivery nowadays. Could still be an Elixir Golem for what I know. Night Witch, yep. Most likely this is not Royal Hog. I wonder if Bale regretted not banning the healer, because Gammon played the healer a lot in these finals. The bats come down, the Giant deck from Bale. Okay, so yeah, we got to see this deck from Bale already. Pretty effective, very well played so far. In every single situation it was this deck was involved. Very good defense. Some damage gets through, and now huge commitment. And it's going to be, I don't want to say easy for Bale to defend, but he has a lot of elixir. Fireball was very, very good. Ram Rider gets to connect with the charge. Tower is brought down to almost 1,000. Miner gets brilliantly defended by the AoEs, but the Archer positioning is very good and allows Bale to get the tower. So now only 35 seconds left for Gammon to take the tower. He already brought down to 1,000 to 1,100 HP, let's say. Healer, Night Witch, Ram Rider. So Ram Rider turns to be the win condition for that deck. Really curious decks from Gammon all the way up to the final game of this tournament. I believe there's enough room for him to take the tower, and that's why Bale is already focusing onto the King's Tower. He knows this is not going to be the end. He cannot rely on defending this tower specifically, judging by the fact that he is playing the Giant deck, so he's already focusing on the next target. Giant pushed really deep into the pocket created by destroying the left tower. Snowball comes down, allowing the Miner and the Giant to connect. Cheap damage after cheap damage, but take a look. Even Bale's King Tower now is pretty low, around 2,000 HPs. Huge push coming down. The healer is doing such an amazing work, although Bale is very ready for this defense. Huge hit from the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is proving to be so important to defend against this magical Archer. Jesus, what a game. I totally agree. For what it's worth, I totally agree with Bale. You shouldn't be turtling with Giant decks. It's really easy to play a suboptimal defense and get destroyed, while you can just play pressure and really maximize what your deck is built to do. This is going to be a very tough push to defend for Gammon. 1,000 HP. Giant is down. There's some units left. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. gets the hit, and together with the bat, I can finally say it again, being sure that this is our winner, Bale, winning these finals and getting this first Inter Clash Royale Championship title. I'm really glad that Bale made it, and also that Gammon was his opponent, because Gammon put up a great fight. It wasn't over until the last game. No one was able to take a game from Bale. Until the finals, Bale was undefeated, but Gammon brought it to game 5. Nice job. Really nice series. I'm gonna... I really am impressed. Jesus. What to say? I fall in love with competitive Clash Royale every time I see these games. Such a good display of what experienced player can do. Like even Gammon, which wasn't really a known name before this tournament, putting up such a great fight with his own decks, his own brews, his own ideas. He didn't stick to meta decks with obvious meta decks. He was very brave, trying his own decks, like bringing Expo against Bale, which played almost exclusively decks with good tanky units up front, like Giant and Mega Knight. You gotta be very brave to do that. You gotta be crazy to do that, I would even say. But Gammon almost pulled it off. So really, my congratulations to Gammon for getting to second place, because it wasn't easy to bring Bale to game 5, even though he ended up losing. Nice job to everyone. I'm really glad this happened. I mean, I wasn't expecting the call from Team Clash for this English broadcast for this Inter Clash Royale Championship. I was really glad I got the chance to cast it. I request cards. No, I won't, man. I'm gonna be kicked out of the clan. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope everyone had the chance to follow his favorite broadcast. The Italian audience got to see Nemo's casting. The Spanish audience or Southern American audience had Revole Mars stream. So hope I created, thanks to Clash, space for people speaking English and from different parts of the world, since English is pretty much the go-to language for everyone, regardless of the continent. And hope you guys had fun. Hope you guys had something to look forward to with every single qualifier and these finals. Glad to host this broadcast for the 3 qualifiers. I had the chance to do that, and the finals. Really glad. Appreciate you guys. I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna call it the end of the tournament. Hope you guys are going to sign up for the following, for the next ones, because if you go to the Clash Royale Clash Discord, you're gonna find plenty of tournaments. Of course, this was something special. This was organized in partnership with the football club Inter. Most of you guys definitely know what I'm talking about. This was really something special in such tough times, where, especially here in Italy, you have to stay home and be quarantined. Having this tournament to look forward to was really something important, and I'm really grateful for this chance. Let's just stop with all this, how do you say that? This sweetness. It's time to say goodbye, boys. Appreciate you. Hope you had fun. I'll see you in the next tournament if I get the chance to cast again. Bye.